Why concern yourself with this? We can outlast the mortals.
Perhaps. But the chaos still threatens us.
Hello.
What do you see, mortal? A Dremora shell on the ground? What does that matter? We don't die after all. Could bring chaos. Disrupt the town's stability. Someone knew this and sent Tephalas back to oblivion. I need to know who. You can help.
Why would one Dramora's end lead to chaos?
Wretched Spire hides Daedra. Can't get summoned while here. We like that. But mortals want us gone. That won't happen. Tephalas seeks a treaty. Removing him delays that. The mortals may try to purge Daedra in his absence. If so, they'll die.
Why do you care if mortals die?
We know not the source of the Spire's protection. Any change might end it, including mortal deaths. You are mortal. Save your people. Speak to them so I can find the one who seeks violence. If lives do not concern you, I can provide mortal coin.
All right, well, I can help. What do you need?
Several mortals stand about gawking. Two will tell what they saw. Rodzara speaks freely to anyone, and Tarvin on the hill, allied to Daedra. I'll take Tephalas' shell to a necrologist in the Daedric area. Meet me there with what you learn.
Why is Tephalas so crucial to Wretched Spire's peace?
The Daedra of Wretched Spire prefer our unbound status. No masters, no summoners. We will stay under the protection this area provides, at any cost. Tephalas spoke for us with the city's leaders. Treaty negotiations, influence over city operations.
You couldn't just kill the mortals anyways?
Very smart that you recognize this. My answer is unsatisfying. Daedra do not want to change anything about Wretched Spire. The protection source remains unclear. The Spire? The people? Until we understand more, all must stay the same.
So what purpose do the treaties serve?
Solitude. The constant disruptions of our existence by mortals anger us. An agreement would ensure we are left alone. You should understand. The mortals believe they allow us to stay. They cannot conceive that we allow them to live.
You mentioned that Tephalas is a you mentioned taking Tephalas to a necrologist. What is that?
A researcher specializes in the empty shells Daedra leave behind. Their composition uses alchemy and magic to reveal secrets.
Like CSI?
He doesn't speak in the mortal tongue often. May confuse you. I'll need to interpret for him.
Tell me more about Wretched Spire, huh?
A complicated place, even for a mortal town. It exists as a boil in the Deadlands. An infection that Mehrunes Dagon exists, but cannot heal. It goes unwitnessed, to my benefit.
Where did it come from, then?
Did Mehrunes Dagon's arrival on your plane go unnoticed? Was his tearing a city from its roots a common event on Nirn? I have never been there, so I do not know. A mortal summoned the prince. He ripped up the spire, bring it here.
Why doesn't Mehrunes Dagon destroy this place, then?
Good question. No one can say. I hear many theories, protected by a different prince, saved for later. Dagon thinks it's funny. Nothing certain. Without an answer, we must maintain stasis. Nothing can change, otherwise Dagon stays.
Well, tell me about yourself, then.
I refuse to have a master. I reject clans. No prince compels my allegiance while I stand within these walls. This arrangement suits me. When Tephalas began negotiations with the mortals, I offered him protection. As you can see, I failed.
Why don't you guys stop in the attack on him?
Deadlands makes his own choices. He is unbound just as I am. If he wishes to walk without me, then so be it. I would not stop him, though obviously it was foolish.
Doesn't working in the service of someone make you their master?
Limited mortal philosophy. Can he force me to kill you if I did not wish? No. Can he embed thoughts in my mind, forcing me to worship him? No. Can he bring me to another plane against my will? Again? No. He is no master, only a useful tool.
Yeah, I get it. He was basically like he was basically your employer, right? Flora and fauna. Rudazara.
I saw you over there talking to Nora, just like I watched you come into town for the first time. Nothing goes on around here without Rodzara noticing. Want to know what happened to that Dremora dead on the ground?
Sure. She looks very neat and proper for somebody that's like around the Sever here, right? Kind of noble-ish. So what happened?
How could I miss it? One moment he's walking along, the next he falls to the ground. His body shook a little, then nothing. I thought only a blade to the chest could kill them. Not that I care. You'll find no love for those things in my heart.
Did you see anyone near him when it happened?
No, not a soul. Neither person nor creature around him when it happened. But he was coming from the spire and going toward where the Daedra stay. Probably getting up to foul business. You know how they are. I keep my eyes on them.
What do you think about the tensions here?
Seems to me that we should have handled it long ago. Daedra aren't meant to live among us. They have everywhere else they can go. Why do they insist on staying where I'm forced to see their strange ways? I say, gather everyone and kick them out.
Yeah, that's pretty intolerant. But I don't really suspect she has any reason to kill the guy. Hi. Can I examine this? Nope. Tavern of Roldi. All right. Do you have anything to say?
Noroth focuses too much on the mortals' whims. He adheres to the belief that we cannot wipe them out without disrupting our protection from summoning. But they will die soon enough. Protecting them means nothing. If it ends now or later, who cares?
Did you see what happened to Tephalos?
Truly, I find Noroth's reliance on a mortal grotesque. I have nothing useful to offer you. I came upon Tephalas twitching and seizing on the ground as though filled with insects. A shame it ended so quickly. It was quite amusing.
Hey.
Greetings, stranger. Is this about Tephalas' death?
Yep.
Or I suppose, not death. The Daedra tell me that is not really how it works for them. I imagine he will come back eventually. Do you know Noroth? The two of you spoke for some time, I saw.
Yeah, North asked me to check if any mortals had witnessed Tephalas' death. So.
Again, not death. Displacement? The proper word for their unique situation eludes me. To answer your inquiry, no, I did not see what occurred. I was actually headed into the Daedric district to meet with Tephalas when I stumbled on the scene.
Why were we meeting with him?
Tephalas and I are friendly. As much as any Dremora has friends. I helped him gain the trust of the city council to begin treaty discussions. He just met with my father, Farvin, leader of the council. I wanted to know how the negotiations went.
Mm-hmm. All right. Acrologist workshop. CSI Deadlands.
Here. Ritual starts soon. Tell me what you learned.
Agree.
I mentioned a necrologist. Mixotet's the one. If the shell holds clues, he can find them. His ritual requires your aid. I promised you would give it. First, tell me what you learned. Did the mortals see what happened?
No one was near Teplas when he collapsed.
Magic from a distance, then. I saw no scorching from fire. Cursed object, maybe? No. Pockets were empty. Let's hope Mixotet reveals more. Why did he leave the Daedric area? He preferred not to upset the mortals.
Teplas said he was going to meet with Favin Iteral for negotiations.
Makes sense. Would Favin attack him? Maybe. He resents all Daedra, but how? And why the delay? Still too many questions. Don't like it. Help Mixotet with the ritual. Claims the magic needs mortal hands. Promised me it won't hurt you.
So how do I assist?
By smoke and light. Mixotet will call for a reagent. Find it, throw it on the ashes. He will explain what he sees. I will translate for you. His speaking needs practice. Start with the dead Bainkin. We can go from there.
All right.
Infinite thirst for prepared interest proposal. Turned advice says vanity and mutual. Misery wisdom arises to the spirit scream. Fragile tendrils allow connections to foregone, and until now, your efforts become necessary.
Okay, so unnecessary then?
Salvage physicality. Triangles examine interior hollows. Broken soul, limited cycle, grounded. No more understanding. Ancient folding across rivers.
I don't exactly understand. North said that he's going to translate.
The track yet written beyond his general. Forfeit linear pointed strangers. Recommended blush of new. Floating beneath and above into similar plateaus. At juncture perform exaltation. Discreet.
Okay. Take the banking and toss it in, right?
Redmond inside flames. Secrets whisper. Explore the skull. Pathways withered. Flew after darkness.
The brain decayed rapidly. Forced the vestige from the shell. The urn dust next.
Pile of flaky dust shifts colors in the light.
Burning dust. Boiling land. River source. Hunt the chest. All dancing in river. Fade the marrow.
Poison flooded the shell. But from what?
Plant. Oh, okay.
Shattered sky, ecstatic bloom. Abdomen exploration in our trails. Ah, charred reveal.
Poison beneath the skin. The entry point. We must talk.
Lighted stump brings strange ichor. Northwest.
Okay, so you got poisoned.
Yes. A poison that affects Daedra. This is new to me. We know more now. Not a random attack from a hater of Daedra. Someone able to apply this to Tevelaz. Got close. This was planned.
Where do you go next?
First, I need this substance, not to use, to examine. Maybe to use. Depends on how events progress. Mixotet says he knows of it. On a fallen tree to the northwest. I would like you to collect some. Too dangerous for me.
Okay, well, I get the substance. What are you going to do?
I will ask around about this poison. See if someone peddles it. Perhaps someone moving for power. Then I'll visit the last person Tefala spoke to. Faven Indoril. Meet me in the spire, center of town. Unlikely he reveals much without you there.
What do you know about Faven?
Arrived when the spire fell. Meirun's Dagon flung him here. Hates Daedra now. Understandable. Leads the Mortals Council. Opposes Daedra residents. Possible suspect.
Possible? Well, yeah. Maybe he could be like an old leader of the Waking Flame, too. So if he leads the council, why does he let you stay?
Tefalaz explained the situation. We will not leave. If the mortals attempt to force us, they will die. Simple.
Then what were they negotiating?
Our existence can remain adversarial. Knives forever at our throats. Tension makes existence a burden, inefficient. Or it can be beneficial. They provide a seat on the council. We offer protection from the Deadlands' many threats.
Well, that makes sense. Tit for tat, right? Daedra are all about all about negotiations, after all. I really like to think about. I really think about Daedra more as like Hellraiser. If Pinhead hadn't been like driven insane, that would be Jamora right there. Like an immortal being that just like has lived so long that they don't have any sense of like ethics the same way we have them. Oh, we got our weekly endeavor done. Take that toxic substance, thank you. Hello. Can't talk? A little strange to see all these mortals like sitting around here not concerned that they're gonna get attacked. Is this a dark elf burial mound? Burial hall?
Do not pursue Faven. It will fail.
Daedra don't belong here. This was once sacred ground.
Father, please, just hear Noroth out.
This conversation goes as expected. Faven has a simple mind. Surprised Tefalaz hasn't killed him yet. The blighted tree, did you find it? A sample of poison may help us identify our target.
Yep. Found it outside the town.
Well done. Beginning to understand why mortals summon Bankin. Very useful to have an assistant. Substance.
Call me a Bankin.
If we find anyone else with it, we may have our target.
How do we proceed then?
Speak to Faven. You're immortal. He may respond better to you. Ask about his conversation with Tefalaz. Get a sense of his plans. Important we delay a purge, at least until Tefalaz returns.
All right. Faven.
Another stray piece of refuse has stumbled into our town, I see. At least you're not a scamp or some other horrid creature. Well, welcome to Wretched Spire, apparent home to all of the Deadlands cast-offs. Why have you come?
So, are you aware that someone murdered Tephalas?
Now, you can't really kill those things, can you? They just keep coming back whether you want them here or not. But yes, I hear about everything that happens in Wretched Spire. Odd. I just spoke with him. Have you learned how he was killed?
Yeah, poison. What was discussed before he died?
What? You're investigating the death of a Dremora? Why bother? That creature will be back in a matter of days. He came to push for the damn treaty of his. Wishes me to allow Daedra to reside here permanently. I refuse to allow it.
Do you know who could have poisoned him?
No idea. However, Tephalas seemed occupied with looking into a recent arrival to Wretched Spire. A shady character named Vontan. If you're so interested, talk to that scoundrel. He squats over with the other dangerous trash in the flea pits.
Why do you hate Daedra so much?
Why? Do you know how I arrived in the Deadlands? Why I'm likely forced to live out my days surrounded by blight and storm? Are you so ignorant of the very place where you stand? Mehrunes fetching Dagon with half the city.
Just hearing him say Mehrunes fletching Dagon. We know what that word is. These Daedras just want peace, you know?
Peace, fair. Daedra are single-minded creatures. They only strive for what their essence tells them to seek. They don't want peace with us. They only see a truce as a means to an end.
So?
What that end is remains mysterious. So they shall have no treaty.
So, okay, so he doesn't understand why they want to stay here, right? But what else do you know about this Votan?
Not enough, unfortunately. He appeared recently skulking around, trying to avoid being seen by decent people. He lives over in the flea pits, where we relegate those who won't stay civil. I should really clear out the flea pits.
Just like he cleared out Tephalas, huh? Well, tell me more about yourself, then.
Farthen of House Indril, though I don't know if that matters so much anymore. I lead this cast-off of a town. The task was much easier when we arrived. We were mostly Dunmer. They knew their place. Now, it's an assortment of adrift refuse.
How did you arrive here, then?
I came with the Spire, crashed down after being ripped from my beloved Mournhold and flung into oblivion. Never really understood how I or any of us survived, but I stopped thinking about it.
How long ago did that happen?
Newcomers tell me it was more than 600 years ago on Nirn. Only a few decades have passed for me. I can still remember the feeling of my stomach dropping as we lifted into the air. Time flows differently in Oblivion's embrace.
Well, I met your son.
Tarvin, yes. He introduced Tephalas to me. A good son, but one who needs to learn his history. He was born here and never saw Mournhold. He doesn't understand what the Daedra truly are. I hope that he never needs to.
He's right here. Hey, Darvin. Oh.
Vontan? Never heard of anyone by that name. I hope my father isn't sending you on a fool's errand. Just be careful in the flea pits. It's not the most hospitable part of Wretched Spire.
Vontan, this one is not known to me. We must learn more. Go to the Flea Pits district. I will follow shortly.
I wonder what they eat out here. Somebody else already came through here or something.
You need to tell them. Oh, damn. It hurts.
Strange drawing. Okay. Charter journal. It's too much. Just too far. I thought I could adapt the Waking Flame's ways, its cruelties, but I couldn't. They promise power, but the adherents only fuel for the fires of Mehrunes Dagon. I feel such guilt, helping them with their wretched spire. Everyone here just wants to be left alone, forgotten. Then I brought the infection under their skin, and spread more rapidly than expected. Right before I escaped, I heard they converted some fool to their cause, someone with power in town. That's probably all they needed in order to take over the place. All right. So is this like a poison or it's like a disease? We still haven't heard about how this is like being spread. Oh. North.
I was detained. Did you find Vontan? What did you learn?
Yeah, he's dead. He was dying when I found him.
Dead. Another murder. And this time, a mortal. So, the trail ends here.
No. I got some papers here that claim the Waking Flame cult has infiltrated the town, and they've got some local help.
Waking Flame? The mortal followers of Mehrunes Dagon? Here? Could they seek to disrupt our protections? We must speak to Faven. He needs to know about this threat, and then we must purge the cult before they endanger our sanctity.
Well, I'll see you in Spire Hall.
Faven must know what you learned. I refuse to allow my protection to fall, and I doubt you want to see them all destroyed by this cult. Return to Spire Hall.
Any idea who would be helping the cult?
First thought, someone in town is secretly a member of this Order of the Waking Flame, and possibly someone who Tefilaz was in contact with.
The Sun.
Otherwise, they would not have gotten close enough to administer the poison.
Could have been Faven.
Perhaps, but I think it unlikely. Faven protects the town, claims it as his domain, would never allow outsiders to take over. The mortal holds too much pride. And he hates Mehrunes Dagon. No sense to it.
Can you make sense of the symbols I found in Voltan's hovel?
Not yet, but in time. These type of runes, not my specialty. Also, I am cut off from a great deal of knowledge. The price of freedom.
It's sort of like they have like a Wi-Fi network and this area is cut off from it. So they're like, yeah, no getting on the internet, no more like distractions, no more getting like phone calls. Freedom. They're like basically out in this is like out in the woods for them, right? Does that price bother you? Like not having the internet?
Bother? You mean What's it? These aren't experiences that I have. My moods are set, fixed. I am who I am, who I will always be. Even my search for freedom from mastery is eternal. Living here, just a temporary success.
All right.
What do you want?
Also, it makes me wonder if there were more or less like mortal feelings or thoughts that became that became life.
Farthen now? I've been spiraled out of control.
It's the sun.
Once again, no struggle.
His son. Despite Tepalaz's requests, I will never allow Daedra to remain in the Wretched Spire. Effective immediately, we shall rally our strongest warriors to push the creatures from our home. The cleansing of the Wretched Spire begins today. Favin or Iridal.
So he decided to act against the Daedra. We should destroy that note. Favin planned to attack Daedra, attempt to push us out. And it would have failed. The mortals don't have the numbers, the strength. And we would just keep coming. Won't happen now. But we needed him to remove the waking flame. No leadership now.
Were you able to decipher the symbols?
Yes. To a location. A kind of encrypted map. But also a key. The waking flame's nearby camp indicates the cultists are about to make their move. I will try to rally the town, but I need you to go to the camp. Do what you can to stop them.
Yeah, let's go to the camp.
The inscriptions describe an entrance to the southwest. It may be hidden, well guarded, but you seem capable. Find what you can that explains these events. Do your best to hinder the cult. I will seek to rally the town's residents. All of them.
He's gonna end up being the leader. He came here to get rid of his masters and to like be free of obligations. He's about to inherit a whole bunch of obligations. Mm-hmm. Oh, nothing up here. Maybe it's up there. Zaret. Nesronatnef. Ah, here we go. Vial of toxic substances, all right. Bile poison, yep. Letter to Vibis Sosa. Alright. Vibis. All I wanted for the Daedra to belong here, just like the mortals. They are creatures with thoughts and goals and should be respected. You offered the aid to ensure Daedra will remain in the Wretched Spire was welcome at first, but now I have killed 2 people. Well, I supposedly sent one back to Oblivion and away from the town's protection. Nonetheless, I've taken action on behest that I never thought myself capable of. But your promised changes have not occurred. So, with regret, I will take my matters into my own hands, away from your guidance. I will prove successful. The Daedra will be safe within the Wretched Spire, their undisputed home.
I did what I must.
Yep.
My own father. Because I believed your lies.
He broke free. Grab him.
Let's go.
I'm sorry. Leave me alone. I did what I thought was right.
Yep. I still don't understand why he killed his friend there.
You're chasing Tarvin? He ran toward the east.
Are you looking for Tarvin? Oh, he ran up the hill.
Everyone's being so helpful here.
Tarvin, mortal. Very well. I shall follow.
Don't you understand? I was helping them. The Daedra deserve a home.
Chill, relax, take a breath.
You figured it out. You know I killed them. Tefilaz, Vontan, even my father. But you don't understand. How could you? The Daedra deserve their freedom. They're beings with souls, just like you and I. And we should protect them. Welcome them.
Then why work with the Waking Flame, huh?
I always fought for the Daedra. They just want a home. They belong here as much as we do. That group, they said they would help. Mortals on the side of Daedra, they said that if I poisoned Tefilaz, it would spur the Daedra to action.
And you believe that? Really?
Tefilaz will be back. But then you showed up. I had to kill Vontan to protect myself, and my father wrote that decree. It would have been a war. The mortals, we would have all died. I couldn't let that happen. I didn't want to kill him, but I had to.
You gotta come back and take responsibility for your actions, though.
I know. I've done horrible things. How do I even begin to atone? But I'll go. No more running.
All right, let's go.
Confession. Good. Makes things easy.
What are you gonna do?
Tarvin, undermining our safety. Didn't see that possibility. I don't understand his thinking. Why help us? Why invite danger into his home? Mortal reasoning doesn't follow an obvious path.
Well, he thought it was helping you, and things would just kind of spiral out of control.
Daedra don't need help. Why fight for us? I thought mortals valued their own kind. I will take him back to town. We need to stabilize it. Make it the same as it was. Nothing must threaten my protection. You completed the task. Here's the payment.
All right, sure.
2 mortals dead. Tefilaz displaced. Tarvin racked by guilt and shame. Too much disruption to the status quo. You did well. I do not believe in bindings. If I did, I would choose you. Mortal capability at its best.
What happens now?
My wish? Wretched Spire stays the same. Nothing changes. Nothing disrupted. Whatever remains in place. We cannot bring back the mortals. A complication, then. But I will work to fix that.
And what do you do with Tarvin then?
His father was leader. To keep the status quo, Tarvin must take up the position. My people will not care, and we can appease any mortals who speak out. Tarvin will see the wisdom and agree in time. Manipulable, that one.
Well, you killed your father, so now you're getting stuck with those responsibilities. How's it feel, Tarvin?
Noroth, I'll face whatever punishment the town devises. It will give the Daedra and the mortals something to work out. Together. Maybe in that way something good can come out of all this. I really was just trying to help.
Yeah, anyone who wants leadership has to realize it's a thankless, shitty job, and it's probably fitting punishment.